That is a beauty of a shot. Is that? Oh my God. Oh! Right, we are back in the simulator here at Silvermere Golf Club with Ping. The Ping i230 irons have come out now for 2022, alongside a crossover, which I will do at a later video. But we're going to focus on these lovely i230s today, which slot right in between the i525s and the i59s. So we've got a broad range from Ping now for 2022 going into 23. These lovely little things here, 4 years ago was their last iteration, the i210. So you may think there's going to be some massive big differences. A little bit. What they are saying with this player's distance iron is that you are going to get slightly more ball speed with some more optimal forgiveness and just overall a more pleasing iron, which is, 2 thumbs up so far. The main differences that you will see are actually more on the longer irons from an aesthetical point of view. They're now a little bit sleeker and aren't as, I'm not going to say ugly, but the i210's long irons did get some stick. I'm going to test out a few of them. I've got the 6 iron here with me today. Player's distance iron, I've had a few things, but they're supposed to be a very complete iron. So, bunker, really? Although they are, as said, to be a player's distance iron, the 7 iron being 33 degrees, which is no change, isn't that strong. They're not like the P790s, the Forged Tech. They are a little bit weaker, so I'm instantly thinking more like a P770, something like that. And the feel of them is pretty similar, quite forged, which is good for Ping. I think when you're comparing it to the other iterations that we have with these wonderful Ping models, it feels a little bit more cushioned and softer than the i59 for sure. No surprise there, because it's got more offset and more forgiveness. It's a thicker head, but it's a very pleasing club. Despite it being quite pleasing and forgiving, down at address, which I'll just show you now with the 6 iron, it is still quite sleek. Oh, that feels good. That feels really good. A really nice soft feel to it for the i230s. Now that's a good green. That's a good green, which we're happy with. And overall, what I'm seeing is, yes, it's a player's distance iron technically, but we're getting quite good numbers that I wouldn't really liken it apart from the overall distance. He's got quite a high spin at 6,500. That's pretty consistent for a 6 iron. Now, this is custom fit vaguely to me, so that is quite high. But they are still saying when you're comparing it to the previous i210s, it is going to be lower spin. So I don't particularly think the distance there is because of me, not because of the club itself. But I don't particularly think these are that much of a distance iron, let's say. We're flirting more with that tour level of distance, like the P770s, maybe even the P7MCs by TaylorMade too. That is a beauty of a shot. Is that? Oh my God. Oh! Hello. So we've hit 3 shots there and they just feel so solid. The cushion that you get off the face there, really nice cushioned feel, which I am really impressed by when you're comparing it to Ping. I think Ping sometimes get a little bit of a bad stick for the feel that you get off their irons. They're not, a true forged club. The i230s, in terms of an all-rounder for quite a broad handicap range, makes you think, doesn't it? Now, the only thing that I would say is a negative about the i230s and a few of the eye range in general for Ping. It's not too important because you can only see the club down at address like this. But I guess from actually looking at it at a head, for a club that you have in your bag, is it a good looking club? Nah, I don't think so. I think, again, this is all a real subjective matter because some people could like one thing, some people could like other, but I think this Ping i230 is pretty boring when you're looking at it. But the main thing is what's happening on the screen here, because I'm never looking at this and gaining confidence. What's important is when I'm looking down at it like this, and that's what gains a bit of confidence. Spinny! That is in the stratosphere. So you can see that's still a pretty decent shot in terms of my actual ball striking, but it is quite a high spinning club for a player's distance iron. If you're comparing it to others in that category, look at that, spinning 7,000 for a 6 iron. Spin making it quite high means that it isn't necessarily one that's going to absolutely destroy the other competitors. But I think in other regards, feel and overall performance, forgiveness, which are more important, they come up trumps. A very complete iron for a 6 iron. Let's go into the 4 iron because the 4 iron, which I'll show you now, if I can find it, there we go, is one of their big improvements, I think. The 4-5, and all the little long irons like this. This one, down at address, is actually now a lot nicer to look at. It doesn't really look more like a game improvement style club, and I think it will still offer quite a lot of forgiveness. That looks like a dead bird, just going straight out of the sky, that one. Quite low spin, but that felt quite hot off the face. That is more of my ball flight there. I think that one is more accurate because I may be a little bit optimistic with this 4-iron going that far, because 267 yards with an iron that I said isn't strong lofts like, you know, Cobra Brad speed iron, things like that. We're still seeing though, there it is. See, that spin rate is something that I expected a little bit. So that's quite high spin rate, isn't it? 5,000, you can see with the ball flight there, a consistent trend across the board. So that is the only caveat that I have with these. For a player's iron, they are quite spinny across the board, but the 4-iron certainly feels like a fairway finder. And I can't really think off the top of my head a ping iron that I've tried this year and last year and the year before that feels as good as this. I think that's the main thing you're going to notice if you have the i210s and like a kid in a candy shop, you're looking at the i230s being like, should I get these? There's not a massive difference, but the aesthetics of the long irons and also the overall feel, the little bit added forgiveness is the main thing you'll notice. Is that worth an upgrade? Well, 4 years is quite a long time, so maybe I expected a bit more. Oh, it was just so out the middle and it didn't pick it up. Well, that was the first really stinky one of the day, that, Jesus. I was like a hacksaw with that club, so I'll be good to see the numbers of that, because that made me feel sick. But, oh, I don't even want to see that one. Look at that, I didn't hit a hosel rocket and I'm in a simulator. So, how are we looking at? So spin's still pretty high, which is okay. And to be honest, that's not the end of the world in terms of those numbers. I'm actually pretty impressed with that, because it's still gone pretty far for a shot that, as you saw by the little video there, was nowhere near the center of the club face. So across the board, across the entire face, which, trust me, we all hit across the entire face, it gets some quite consistent numbers. Just the spin is a little too high. That is the shot of the day for me. Could not have hit that any better. We're gonna finish the 4-iron on that one. Don't you dare leave the green. Good boy. A really nice feel across the board from all of these irons, all of the Ping i230 irons. So if you are a Ping fanatic, like I know a lot of you will be watching and thinking, should I upgrade from the i210s? A 4-year gap, that is a very good question. For the price, I don't necessarily think it's worth it, because I think the Ping i210s are an extremely strong iron still, even though they're 4 years old. The one question you have to ask yourself is, with it being 4 years old, how's the durability looking on those clubs? How are they performing? 4 years is quite a long time for one set if you're playing consistently. You will notice improvements across the board with the i230s from the feel and the forgiveness. Is it enough to spend £1,000, over £1,000 on these irons? It depends if you think you need a new set rather than want. If you want a new set, I'd recommend trying them out and get custom fitted, absolutely. If you need a new set, then go for it, because you will notice some slight improvements compared to your old irons if they were the i210s. If you have enjoyed this video here at Silvermere Golf Club at the Full Swing Launch Monitor, leave a like. And if you are new to GolfMagic, hit that subscribe button as well, because we all know we've got some very nice clubs coming out in the next few months. You can see I've got my new club beard growing. It will keep growing until I've reviewed all of them at the end of January. So stay tuned for that, guys, because there's a lot of really fun videos coming. To the next video, guys, I'll catch you later.